Hello, and thanks for tuning in to 3 for Tryin with Ryan. This is Braveheart, my dog, and we intend to start at least once a week, if not a few times a week, show with 3 topics. We're going to try to make them interesting. They may not be, but we're going to try anyway. Braveheart contributes behind the scenes, so he's also blind. Starting this week, we're going to talk about 3 topics. Well, let me flip a coin. Since it's the Iowa caucuses tonight, I would like to pick a candidate to discuss. So if it's, depending on which side the coin lands on, I want to talk about Newt Gingrich. Looks like it's Newt Gingrich. This is a dude who's been married 3 times, who dumped one of his wives while she had cancer, who screwed around on his next wife with his secretary while he was going after Bill Clinton for basically doing the same thing. And now he's complaining that the media is being too hard on him. And he's found Jesus at 64. So I just want to make this clear. At age 50, he had not found Jesus. Sometime between, presumably, his 3rd wedding and his first presidential campaign, he found Jesus. So I guess that's in the last 5 years. And there's nothing wrong with finding Jesus. I just would have been cool if he had found it before the first wife had cancer or the second wife. But maybe it takes 3, much like the show 3 for Tryin with Ryan, this show. Topic number 2, I'm going to briefly discuss Tim Tebow. He's been discussed a lot lately, I think probably over-discussed. But I'm not really interested in his personality or his religious beliefs. I'm more interested in the fact that he's a garbage quarterback. I watched him at Florida. He had a mediocre arm, but in college you can get speed guys at the skill positions who can compensate for a lacking skill set from the quarterback, and that's what they did. They had NFL quality receivers on the outside, Percy Harvin and Aaron Hernandez, and so basically now he's in the NFL, and the Denver Broncos fans were yelling and yelling because their other quarterback was stinky, and they had this draft pick from last year. They wanted to give him a chance, and Denver management knows that he stinks, and so they're basically like, let's just give him what they want. We'll lose all our games. We'll get a good draft pick. We'll go get another quarterback. And what happened was the defense, which the first 5 games had allowed 25 points per game, they've had 1 game under 22 points the first 5 games. Basically, over the next 8 weeks, proceeded to allow 13 or fewer points in 7 of those weeks, and then they had 2 weeks where they allowed like 30 or 40. But basically, 80% of the time they allowed under 2.5 touchdowns. And if you do that, you'll win 85% of your games. Well, apparently Tim Tebow gets the credit for that, along with a strange confluence of events, including the Vikings running back getting hurt, the Bears running back and quarterback getting hurt, Oakland playing a quarterback who had been come out of retirement for that game, Kansas City's quarterback broke his hand during the game, the Chargers missed 2 field goals during the game, and Tebow got all this credit. And people ignored it and decided that, I guess God had picked Tim Tebow because he talks about God. I don't even know. I mean, to me, if I were God and Denver were my favorite team, I would make them score more points. I wouldn't make them only score 14 points a game. I would just beat every team 60-0. I'd be like, I'm God, dude. That's what I do. Why does God want to make games close? But I guess there's the other theory that God likes high ratings. So maybe God works for the Nielsen Ratings Corporation. The third topic and the final topic on 3 for Tryin with Ryan is goodwill. Donating clothes to Goodwill, not just you see a bum, give him a quarter. Last week I went to Goodwill, and I didn't know you could pull up behind it. So I had a cart, and I filled it up with, I had like 20 or 30 pair of shoes. As you can see, I collect shoes. Back to me. And I went into storage, and I found like 20 or 30 old pairs of shoes from the last decade, and I was like, I don't need these. I could probably sell them on eBay, but I don't want to do it. And some homeless guy would probably love these yellow Nikes or these Air Max 2s. So I put them in a box, and then I filled up 2 other satchels full of old clothes, and I went to Goodwill. I didn't know I was supposed to go behind the store. So I went through the store in the cart, and people were looking at me like I was Santa Claus, except they weren't going to get all this stuff. I was going to give it to Goodwill. So I go to the back, and there's this 60-year-old white dude, and he's like, dude, those are worth money. I'm like, yeah, they probably are. And anyhow, I was going to donate them to this guy, to Goodwill, and then this white guy waves me down. He's like, bring him around here. So I take the shoes back and I put them in the cart and I donate the bags of clothes, like 3 bags of clothes. The guy in charge of Goodwill just excoriates me. He's like, how can you do that? Please don't bring them through here. I was like, okay. I mean, literally 5 to 10 times he told me not to do it. I was like, okay, dude, I understand you don't have a position of authority and you like to scold someone, and today I'm that guy. And then I just walked off. And I went around to the front, and the guy told me no less than 5 times that he wasn't going to make a lot of money on them, that he wasn't going to make a huge profit. I was like, just give me $2 a share. He gave me $1. I'm sorry, $2 per pair. He gave me $1 per pair, which was fine. I was going to get nothing before. I donated some to Goodwill, so it wasn't like I was doing anything wrong. He's like, don't tell him my name. I was like, dude, we're not selling drugs in the parking lot. These are just shoes. He's like, I don't want them to know my name. I was like, I don't even know your name. And then at the end, he gives me $30. He's like, my nephew's going to be so happy. Uncle Gary, I can't believe you got me all these shoes. And I was like, dude, look what you've done now. Now I know your name. He's like, you seem like a cool guy. I'll probably only get $15 a pair. So basically, the lesson I learned is Gary, Uncle Gary, now I know he has a nephew, is going to make probably $500 off of my Goodwill. So that's 3 for Tryin for today. Thank you for watching, and please come back soon.